Hey, what's up guys? Another video here, and today I want to talk about the topic of emotion versus logic. So it's very important when you are making any type of decision that you are using logic. So let me explain. So if you use emotion, what you're going to think of is, oh, it's because I feel like it, or it's, oh, because I like it. So that's a very dangerous way of thinking because you're not weighing the pros and cons of each situation. So this really applies in the financial sense. So you don't want to pick, for example, a fund is because, oh, I think it looks good, or because, oh, I feel like it. So you want to analyze why you're picking that fund. And if you're making a big purchase, you want to analyze why you're doing it. So for example, like the videos in the past, I would state the $1,000 phone example. So why are you buying a $1,000 phone? So you can weigh the cost benefit of the phone. So you can examine the $1,000 if you can use it as far as time value of money and how it can grow in the future versus how much utility it gives you now. Will it give you $1,000 utility? Maybe, maybe not. And the functions of the phone can be very similar to a $300 phone. So you really have to examine why you are purchasing things, especially big ticket items, okay? So let's say you bought the $300 phone and you can allocate the $700 that you would have spent on the $1,000 phone into investing. So in that case, you really have to examine why you are doing something, okay? And you don't want to use, oh, because it looks good, or because I feel like it, things like that, when you're making really important financial decisions, okay? So you may use emotion when you're, for example, picking something to eat at a restaurant, or maybe you're picking some kind of clothing, but again, those also have the cost-benefit analysis, so the pros and cons of what you're going to do. So if you're within the budget of that month, sure, you can use an emotion to select what you want, but if you are overextending that budget and, for example, you're expending something where you're using emotion to use when you're trying to select an object that's over your budget, then that's going to be very damaging. Okay, so you really want to weigh the pros and cons, really think about why you're doing the thing that you're doing, or why you're making that financial decision, why you're doing this type of action logically versus using emotion where you are feeling like it, or because you like it, or some illogical reason that you're reaching this decision. So it's really important, again, to use logic versus emotion, and emotion can lead to very damaging circumstances, or it can leave you at a deficit, especially financially, if you are not thinking logically about a purchase. So again, this can involve big ticket items such as a phone, car, home, etc. So the things that you purchase may make you feel a certain way, but it may not be the best financial decision. So again, just to recap, always use logic when you're doing your decisions, especially if you're not at a point of abundance. So maybe if you are at a point of abundance where you have multi-millions of dollars, you can start using emotion to purchase things. Again, within reason and within your budget, but if you're at a point where you're trying to build your wealth and you're trying to be very mindful of your purchases, never use emotion when you're doing something. But again, you can use emotion within the constraints of your budget for example, entertainment purposes, within your budget. But again, outside of that, I do not suggest using emotion at all. Always use logic, especially when you're in the phase of your life when you're building your wealth. So that's it, guys. And again, just to recap, use logic, not emotion. Thanks.